I mean, if anyone wants me to do an X-rated art porn shorts, just let me know.
He's here. He's ready.
I'll literally take one for the team and watch all of the art porn.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are Boys on Film. I'm Phil Marriott. This is Sean Vickers. Hi. We have been at the BFI Flare 2022 Film Festival, which is the LGBTQ plus film festival in London. You've physically been there. I haven't had the chance to get there yet, but it finishes this weekend. I don't know when this video is going to go out. Hopefully it will be before Saturday.
I have been down there. It's very real and lovely. It's nice to see the entire cross-section of the queer community hanging out at the BFI. I think that's always really lovely. It's one of the joys that I really get from going down to the BFI and just seeing everyone. I have my lanyard. That's another story entirely, Phil. and yeah, no, it's just very nice to be down. The energy is major. And you know what? You always bump into a lot of people that you know, always just swishing around. So it's great. Energy, brilliant. Well done, the BFI. Well done, the Flare team.
Are you going to the closing party this year?
I would go to the closing party, but I'm actually DJing.
Oh yes, of course you are. Do you want to give a quick plug for that?
I am DJing at the King's Arms. I'm playing their new queer alt night, which is called All Sorts. Yeah. I'll be there on Saturday, the 26th, from 8 p.m. until close, playing bops. So come and say hello.
You're going to smash it, hun.
Peace out.
So we've got a lot to get through today. So it's 7 shorts that you've seen. You're going to condense it all into this bite-sized review video.
Yeah, and that's by no disrespect to any of the producers, directors, screenwriters. I do Sean, as you know, if regular viewers know, I do Sean shorts, always at the festivals. Here's my current snapshot. I will say that not all of the shorts are out at the moment, so there are some others that I still want to see, but these are my favourites so far to date. So I'm going to start with A Fox in the Night, Phil. It's a UK film from 2021. It is 11 minutes long. I'm just checking my notes because regular viewers will know I have a dreadful memory. I've got a story about The Fox in the Night. So when I went to the Flare launch party and I was sat in the cinema waiting to see all the gorgeous credentials, I sat next to this lovely pair of human beings and we got chatting, and to my immediate left was this chap called Keeran and Anwar Blessie, who is the director and screenwriter of A Fox in the Night, and to their left was the producer, who is Benjamin Jacob Smith. And we got chatting and they said, oh, we've got a film in the shorts. And I said, I love shorts. And hopefully, Phil, we'll get to talk to Keeran and Benjamin at some point about this short film. So
we're going to make that happen.
We're going to make it happen, people. We're going to make it happen. I've met them IRL. I'm going to make it happen.
Love the abbreviations.
Yeah. So it's this very short film, 11 minutes, set in South London, retells the story about strange intimacy and frisson that happens in situations where you wouldn't expect. It follows our protagonist, who's played by Keeran Anwar Blessie, really into a situation where, let's just say, he's trying to get himself sorted for a night out, wink wink, and really something that happens between himself and another human being who's going to help him on his night out, wink wink.
It's lots of winking.
And an energy that forms. Yeah, it's a drug deal basically. And yeah, there's an energy that forms between the two of them. And actually, it's incredibly touching. And I was really drawn into it. I was like, this is great. And there was like you know that thing where two people meet and they flirt? And the flirt, it felt real. The flirting felt really, really, I was kind of like, I'm into this. It feels like they've got a connection. It feels very real. And it follows kind of like a very short story about how they meet and how they come apart, and how they have a reference of a fox. I'm not going to go into it too much, and how that draws back memories. But I loved it. I thought it was really great. And it was nice to see people flirting. Next is a film from the US, again from last year, 13 minutes. It's Come Right Back.
Great title. I mean, we're talking of titles. I mean, that's the best, isn't it? I wonder where they got the name for that.
It's written and directed by Harris Doran, and it follows the life of this queer, black aspiring Baltimore rapper, and how he has this kind of quite vengeful day job and this pretty quite awful boss, and how he tries to avoid not getting fired because he's eaten an edible by mistake.
Oh, right, great. That's a great story.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
I mean, I want to hear more.
He eats this edible. The boss says you're going to have to come in for a drug test. And it basically follows his story about how he's trying to not get fired. And it is quite the lull. It's a comedy. It's really fun. The time whizzes by. The main protagonist is brill. It's great. It's light, it's playful, it's fun. I'd really recommend it. There's some heavier films on my list, and this one was a real palate cleanser, so I really, really enjoyed it.
Sounds really good with a great title as well. Do you remember that single "F You Right Back" by Frankie, which was a response to?
I like the reason why I like "F You Right Back" or Ferb is there was the Eamon song and the Frankie song, and they both did "F You Right Back," and it was like a call and response.
Yeah.
It was just genius. It doesn't happen today. I just think it's quite brilliant.
And she won, I think, in that competition.
She totally won.
She owned it.
It was way better. Frankie's version was way better.
Yeah.
My short number 3 is a short film called Pink and Blue. Again, from the United States from last year, 13 minutes. It's directed by Carmen Lebeau. I hope I pronounced that right. I do apologize if I've done that incorrectly. And it's written and produced by KDX, who plays Kreia in the short film. It follows what is a surprise first-time pregnancy between a trans couple of colour, and how they decide that they wish to proceed and have the baby, but raise the baby without gender in a binary world.
That sounds really good as well.
And so it follows how these two gorgeous human beings interact and how they wish to bring this child into the world without gender, and some of the pitfalls that sit around that, not only as between the relationship themselves, but how it's perceived by the wider world. You know, it's quite hard. I mean, I will say I have friends where you try and buy gifts that are genderless, or you try and buy gifts that are, it's actually very difficult. And so colours, but anyway, it's a very touching short film. It's just 13 minutes long. KDX, who produced the film and wrote the film, is a black trans queer first generation Nigerian and an award-winning actor, producer and screenwriter, with several things under production with their production company, Dog Basey Productions. So another great short film, very moving, very touching. I love the content, I love the context. And it's very, it's lovely. It's very tender. So
I love the sound of it, because it sounds like people kind of living their lives their own way and not having to fit into that box of what we're used to and what we expect. And like you say, it's probably a very difficult thing, because obviously, you know, you kind of grow up thinking that is meant to be how you're meant to live your life. It's not always the case, because you're meant to live your life how you want to live your life.
Exactly. I think that comes across, which is there's a real desire to say, you know, this is how we want to bring this human being into the world, and then how the binary world, which we all exist in every day, suppresses that and tries to change that even before the baby's born. Do you know what I mean? It's really well placed. It's really well positioned. I really enjoyed it, and as I say, it was very tender and very intimate and emotional. So a really, really lovely, gorgeous short film that I recommend. Okay, now I'm casting my net further afield, and I'm going to talk about a film that was made in Palestine in 2020. It's called Borekas. I got a really lovely email from the director and writer, who's a 23-year-old, my teeth in, queer Palestinian filmmaker called Salah Saadi, and it's his first short film that he's made. It's been on the official selection of the Palm Springs International ShortFest. It's been on Outfest, and it's now Flare. It's a great, you know, it's 15 minutes, fantastic story about a father and son, and about assumptions that people make about relationships, you know. So his father is driving him to the airport in a taxi. The taxi breaks down, and the fact that the car breaks down gives them a chance to connect in a way that they haven't connected for a long time, is the sense. And you feel a warmth and a tenderness between a father and son that I think has been missing for a long time. You get a sense from the father that he's realised that his son is talking to other members of the family, and he's more open about who he is to other members of the family, but not to him. And I feel like there's a sense of loss because of that. And so this situation with this taxi breaking down allows them to connect, and allows them to start to rebuild a relationship, or to strengthen their relationship, knowing about each other in their most authentic way.
This is a really strong list of shorts this year at Flare. Have you picked out all your favourites? Have you seen a lot more than this, or are these like the
I've
highlights?
seen quite a lot. These are definitely my favourites. But as you know, Phil, I love a short film.
Yeah.
This film Borekas, like, it does so much hard work in 13 minutes. Like, it really gets to the core of something. A bit like Pink and Blue, it gets to the core of something really, really quickly, and that's what I kind of love about the short film. So, you know, applause to Salah Saadi, and thank you for the email and kind of to let me know about your short film, because it's brilliant. and I absolutely recommend it.
So last year we saw, it wasn't at Flare, I think it was South by Southwest, we saw a short called Femme, which was the most amazing short. I think it was only like 14 minutes, but it left me wanting more. Any of these shorts kind of, can you see them working as a feature?
Pink and Blue I could see working as a feature, because I think there's a depth to that story that can be explored. Again, A Fox in the Night I could see as a feature, because I think you'd explore this frisson and see how it plays out, and see how the different characters allow this kind of like quite unorthodox relationship to work through. So I think there's certainly some of the films that could work through. There are others, and I'm going to come to a couple in a minute, that are snappy, they do something quite magical, and then they move away, so they're kind of ephemeral, and I also love that about them too. So next I'm going to go to The Fisherman, which is a...
I've just seen the thumbnail. I've seen the poster for it, and it doesn't leave much to the imagination. I mean, he might as well not be wearing those shorts, to be honest. But he's got a history of that, hasn't he? Of getting all his clothes off. The main star.
So we'll come to the main star. So it's a German film from last year. It's 10 minutes long. It's written and directed by Nicky Miller. Where do I begin with this film? It starts basically with a semi-naked fisherman fishing on a lake in like braces and the tiniest pair of tiny shorts, big beard, big hair.
Sean, stop there. It's a great way to start. I'm loving it already.
Out of the water while he's fishing, this, young hot guy appears, and basically it's 10 minutes of art porn with a Berghain soundtrack.
Sold.
So I was like, I watched it, and again, this is to your point, Phil. I was like, maybe this does actually need to be a feature. But,
I want more. 10 minutes.
It is a bit like this one leaves nothing to the imagination, but it's kind of brilliant, because it is just art porn is the best way I can describe it. It's a bit like if you read Book Magazine. It's a bit like Book Magazine versus OnlyFans. It's got an edge. It's got that's interesting. It's got this, and basically as this 10-minute art porn rolls out, more characters appear. So you're like, oh, hold on, there are more characters hanging out in this lake. So I'm just gonna leave that with you. If you want something a bit racy, watch The Fisherman.
I shall be watching it this afternoon on your advice. Can't wait to get stuck into that.
That's on my favourites list. So that's The Fisherman. It's great. Well, I'll stay on the racy theme, I think.
Please do.
Keep it in that zone.
Yeah, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it?
It would be very rude not to. So I want to talk about my almost first time. It is a US San Martin film from last year. It's 4 minutes.
A friend of mine is in it, James Kleinman. A friend of mine is in it, James Kleinman.
No.
Yeah. I used to see him a lot at Flare, actually, because he used to work at the festival. But he lives in New York now, but he does a lot of work for the Queer Review. And he's a presenter. He's such a lovely guy, but he's an actor as well. And yeah, he's done a lot of films, but he's in this.
So the director, producer, screenwriters are Charles Lum and Todd Verow. So it's based on the filmmaker, so Charles Lum's own experience of going to a gay beach for the first time as a young man and almost having sex.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing, isn't it?
But it's a bit like it washes over you. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's got a spoken word narrative over the top of it, and it's kind of just like that. We've all had it, that kind of, there's early experiences, even actually late experiences where is something going to happen? Is something not going to happen? There's a mood, there's not a mood. So it's 4 minutes, but again, it's cute, it's lovely. It does a lot of work. It's 4 minutes, but you kind of can relate and go, oh yeah, I've been that person,
So would it be a spoiler to say what stops that final activity happening? The money shot?
I'm refusing to say. I'm not saying there's no money shot. I'm just saying this. Okay, so my final one of Sean's shorts for Flare is Baba, which is a UK film from last year, 17 minutes. The director and screenwriters are Sam Arbour and Adam Ali. This film is kind of cute, and it's also quite impactful. It tells the story of a Libyan teenager called Britannia. That's their given name. They're known to their family as Ahmed. and whether they should flee their homeland to come to the UK for dreams of hanging out on Canal Street.
Brilliant. We all have dreams of hanging out on Canal Street, though, don't we?
My youth, yeah. So basically, this Libyan teenager is saying, I think my future can only really be gay if I'm in the UK and I want to be on Canal Street and I want to be my authentic self. And the story talks to that path. So his found family, his queer found family are like very supportive, and he has to go to the British Embassy. Then it transpires that he doesn't have his passport, and his passport is still at home. But in the interim, he's dyed his hair blonde and he's looking very fierce. And suddenly this idea that he has to go back to his family home looking very fierce as his authentic self is quite scary. And so it tells this story of Britannia and this like vision, this desire to come and be a queer human being in Manchester.
Excellent stuff. My goodness me, BFI Flare 2022, you have delivered on the shorts front.
I mean, if anyone wants me to do an X-rated art porn shorts, just let me know.
He's here. He's ready.
I'll literally take one for the team and watch all of the art porn.
Can I just say that nobody told us to wear the same things today? We're
wearing the boys on film uniform, which is an olive crew neck and a baseball cap.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the uniform. If anyone wants to kind of like copy, we just basically must have like connected Phil through art porn, and this is what we decided to wear.
Amazing. And also, if you've been on Twitter and you've seen our recent posts, we are considering an idea where we host a movie quiz, but we're all drinking, which I think is probably a bad idea. But yeah, we're going to invite guests to come and join us to kind of test our knowledge. I'll be the games master though, so I won't be involved. I'll just be asking the questions because I know the answers.
I think I know quite a lot, but I can't recall anything.
Is that BFI Flare to blame there?
I think it's just basically my misspent youth still, to be honest.
Yeah, the brain has died. I know what that's like. And lockdown doesn't help either. We've been through that. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently if you've had COVID, it shrinks your brain by 2%, and I've had it twice. So
yeah,
there wasn't a lot of brain there in the first place. So 4% reduction.
Scary thought. So yes, fantastic. Thank you, Sean. You've totally sold so many of those shorts. All of those shorts, I would say. I mean, they're definitely the highlights for you, aren't they, this year?
They are. I loved all of them, and I may go back and watch a few of them again. The Fisherman.
Yeah. That's definitely the highlight, isn't it, for you, I think, this year? For reasons I think you've explained. So yeah, check out the playlist on the screen now, because we've got so many other films that we've reviewed. We've still got loads to come, because I mean, goodness me, it's like trying to fit it all in as we're watching to record these reviews. It's not an easy task, but we love doing it. So yes, do subscribe and like this video and share it with everybody.
Do subscribe.
See you next time. Yes. Bye for now.